Hi, welcome to today's session of Random Talking. So, today's topic is things which I have not covered. Okay, so the first time I'm planting a tree, and that's the only tree I have ever planted. I think that's the only plant. No, I have planted slightly other plants. Like a strawberry plant was my favorite. When I was small, I kind of planted a strawberry plant and it gave like some 2-3 strawberries. But the ant, the strawberry was so big and huge because I was watering it and all. It was on the so the thing is the shrub doesn't have much height, so the strawberry was on the ground and ants ate it up, so I couldn't eat it. But that was the strawberry I grew. Then I think I've done vegetation of carrot, but it was too difficult a task because you keep digging and seeing if it's ready and all. Other than these two things, I think I've not done any kind of gardening. But my dad's like a big time plant person, so he likes green plants. Okay, like green plants, big trees. He's a forest person, I guess. Mom is a flowering plant person. She loves flowers, roses. So the rose block is her under her in charge. So I am the person who enjoys all these good things that my parents have, like trees and flowers and everything. So I'm this person who sees, enjoys, admires and all that, but not on the working front. It's too much of work, man, gardening. But also it's nice, when a flower comes and you have kept it. The attachment I see my mom has with the flower, no, it's too good. So planting the Christmas tree was the first tree I have planted, and that's the only tree I've planted my entire life till now. So when I was 5 years old for my 5th birthday, okay, so I was 5 years old for my 5th birthday, my dad got this Christmas tree from Lal Bagh. So Lal Bagh is the place where we get most of our plants, like flowering plants also, let's say marigold and then we cultivate it as much as possible. And mostly it was coxcomb. My mother was like dairy flowers and coxcomb were two things that, she always wanted to have. And so we got this Christmas tree. My dad dug up a big ditch for it, like 4 feet deep. And it's a tiny plant, okay, like 1.5, 2 feet. Hey, not a tiny plant. 3 feet. Let's say 3 feet. And even I was also not 3 feet. It'll be just 1.5, 2 feet. Let's say 2 feet plant. Okay, 2 feet plant. And he dug up a huge hole and he placed the Christmas tree inside that ditch. And the first thing what he told me was like, let's see who grows fast, you or the Christmas tree. So initially when we started, the Christmas tree was like my hip height. So I'm 5 years old. You have to imagine me as a tiny little child. 5-year-old, I would have been barely like 2.5, 3 feet tall. Okay, so anyways, I was taller than the Christmas tree. So I used to measure my height and slowly the Christmas tree started growing. And by the time I reached 3rd standard, the Christmas tree overtook my height and kept going. So from that day I stopped comparing. By the time I was in 4th, my dad was like, let's check height. I was like, no point, it's somewhere. It's almost 6 feet, 6.5 feet, and what am I checking? So the Christmas tree grew and it grew to a height of 20 feet and then it started hitting the electric pole. So and because of construction, we had to bring it down. So that was my Christmas tree story, but that's the tree I planted. And then when I was 4 years old, I'd asked for a rocking chair. Okay, so rocking chair is that it's got that you sit down and you move like that, right? That's got that arc. The base has got an arc shape, so you go in that rhythmic moment. So that's the chair I wanted. So I told my dad, like this is red yellow color one, the rocking chair is what I want. So my dad, he told, okay. In the shop, he told, okay, after you go home, I'll buy. So he goes to the shop and he bought a blue color. So it's got a Mickey Mouse, it's got a face, okay, like on the chair, the place where we sit, the backrest part. It's got the face, his eyes are in the shape of stars, mouth is in the shape of a moon, and then there's a triangular nose. So that's the shape, but it's not a rocking chair. It's a normal plastic straight sitting chair. It's blue in color and I still have it. Because it's a nice strong chair. No, it's very strong. Even now it's there. So now I don't fit into it. At least till 3rd standard, 4th standard, I kind of, used to try and fit into it. So not 4th, for a very long time I was fitting into it. And And now I'm kind of keeping my my piano books in that, and I use it for that. But it's still there. It's one of the strongest and strongest things that I have had. So when I was like, you might like this, but this is what I want to buy and give you as a child. Mostly never used to buy toys for me. So yeah, that was rocking chair didn't happen, and I had this square chair. But right now I'm like, fine, it's okay. I didn't play. Okay. Then one day I came back from school, and I told my mom, there's this craft class is there, and then there's this mridangam and tabla class. This was when I was in 7th. Okay. So 7th is when I started going for my keyboard piano classes, piano lessons. Outside school, there's piano lessons I used to go for. So I came back home and I told my, mom, like, there's this craft and art and craft, and or you can choose mridangam tabla music thing. So I told I wanted to choose music, but then I said none of the girls are coming for it because it's mridangam and tabla. It's only most of the girls are into craft. They kind of enjoy doing that. So my mom said, so if everybody's doing that, you also joined craft. Why do you want to be the only girl going and sitting in a mridangam or tabla class? So all the boys had joined for the mridangam and tabla class. Okay? They were just want to bash something and things like that. So then I told my dad, like, I am coming for this piano classes, so I want to see how it feels like, to learn another instrument parallelly, and if it's anything same, because with my piano it was Western style learning which I learned, so all the scales and things like that. With the mridangam and tabla, it was tak kita dik kita tum kita nam kita tata kita didi kita tum kita nam kita. So that's the only thing I learned. So my dad was hell bent on teaching me mridangam at one point, but he couldn't find a teacher, tutor or teacher for me back then. We had a grandpa who used to play mridangam. So he was residing in Artinagar, but then he moved off to Kerala. So my dad keeps telling, I always wanted you to learn mridangam from him. So then I told mridangam is there, craft is there. My dad said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go for, the tabla classes. My dad said, you said mridangam, right? Then he said, why are you not going? I said, it's only all the girls are going for craft and boys are going for tabla and mridangam. Dad said, is there a rule as such? I said, no, there's no rule as such, but that's how it's kind of happening. My dad said, so what's stopping it just because it's all boys? He said, in future, when you go join a company, maybe you might be the only lady in the room, but then you will have to learn to stand up. If you're not able to do it on a school level where there's, it's so safe and, all your friends in the class, basically, end of the day, they are just your friends and classmates. So if you want to go for mridangam or tabla, you will go for mridangam or tabla. So I said, yeah, I'll go for mridangam. Then he told me, like, don't go for tabla, you select mridangam. So that's how I went, and so not only that I was the only girl, so apart from, I kind of tagged along another friend of mine. So she was my best friend of 7th, 8th and all. She was super close to me. So I was like, Kritika, you also come. So she also came, and so in 7th standard when we went for this class, 7th or 8th is when this tabla class happened. It was a vocational course, right? So, she was there, I was there, and everybody's like learning tabla. Not only that, I was the only girl in that whole boys, Kritika and I were the only girls in that whole boys sector. They were all learning, all the boys were into tabla. I was the only one who was doing mridangam. So he had to separately teach me, nam. So, in keyboard you have that arch formation. So we mostly have our fingers playing like this. And in tabla, it's like straight, stiff hands, nam. Takkita, dikkita, and it's very painful, yeah. It's like, and that leather is so hard with mridangam and you have to hit. So with tabla, it's little more tak. Anyways, that was that. So that was fun learning, and that the thing that you have to, if you want to do something, why is gender a blocker there? If you feel this is what you want to do, go ahead and do it. And many times you might be the only woman or you might be the only man in the room, so that shouldn't be a thing to stop you. And Lalbagh, so mostly for Republic Day and Independence Day, Bangalore, Lalbagh is very famous for their flower arrangements. So we used to go, okay, not on the Republic Day or Independence Day, because that day is super crowded. Sometime during that week, within the 7 days, somewhere we will go to Lalbagh or Lalbagh for sure during Independence Day, Republic Day flower show. And we see the flowers, we flick a few flowers and get those seeds home. These are things we do. At least my parents do. They kind of love flowers and things like that. A little more into the story. When I hear Warren Buffett speak about saving money, all of us are like, oh wow. But when a normal person is telling about saving money, obviously even my stories, it's like, oh, it's just a normal story. There's a lot of us going through. This is not for any competition or comparison or telling that my life's better. No. So this is one story. This is one suggestion my dad told. So my mom, when I was in class 9, is when we purchased a car, and my mom was like, I can't go and bus, I don't want to work anymore. So my dad's like, why wouldn't you want to work anymore? She's like, I can't walk and then get into a bus and then go and come. And my dad's like, it's not for the money that I want you to work. I just want you to go have that exposure. Like, you see 4 people, you have those, meetings, and that routine is always there in your life. So he said, okay, so if I get you a car, so if you learn driving and start going by car, will you be okay? So he started teaching her car driving, and he also started learning car driving. And my mom took around 6 classes. She was very scared of, getting onto the road. Obviously, Bangalore traffic, and she had to go to Hebbal. So Hebbal KV is where she used to teach back that time. So 6 classes of 6 different driving schools and different roads we drove through. My dad used to draw the map, and she used to be like, come to Bannerghatta. So there's no driving school L board which is driving on Bannerghatta main road. So she was properly tutored in KR Market, Bannerghatta main road, and all these places. And sometimes the drivers, like, who's her driving instructor, will be like, we can't be driving on KR Market and Bannerghatta road. And so he used to remove the board. School board is not allowed there, so police will catch you. So you remove the board, and then they used to go. So all that was done, and finally she was confident enough to drive. So she started going in the car, and when engineering 3rd semester I started, so that's like 2nd year, I started going to college on my 2-wheeler. So I told my dad, why are you, we had a scooter also, Bajaj Chetak, you remember, like a flashback, old Bajaj Chetak was there, it's still running and everything it's on spot. So I asked him, why don't you take that? And he's like, see, Cheryl, end of the day, what we are trying to save or make is money. What we don't have is money. What we're trying to make is money. So what I have in excess is time. So he was spending like 4 hours, to his workplace and coming back. It used to take him 4 hours per day, and his work schedule, 10 hours, almost 9 to 10 hours. So 14 hours just like that, 7 hours for sleeping. So it's pretty much covered. So he used to tell me, like, we have time. What I have is time. What I don't have or I'm trying to make is money. So I will travel by bus. He used to go everywhere by BMTC bus, and his workplace were insanely far, like Uttarahalli and all that. It's like 25-30 kilometers one side for him. So that's the distance he used to cover by bus. It used to take him 2 hours going, 2 hours coming, 3 hours coming. So 4 to 5 hours by travel. So saving money, standing up for this one, and also speaking. So whenever we used to have, meetings, sometimes he used to chair the meeting about my studies or whatever is going on, currently in life. And sometimes he used to ask me to chair the meeting. So one more thing is, he always allowed me to speak my mind, though he did not kind of might not agree to what I'm saying, but he always gave me a chance to speak. So that always gave me that courage that, you have to have your own thoughts. And negotiation he's always a better negotiator. So he wins the speech. Basically make me do what he wants. But yeah, it was good. So it was basically in my best interest from his understanding levels. So yeah, that was that negotiation. And one time when what happened is, there was a discussion happening at home, like we had a guest from outside. So he was talking and my dad was talking, and I was listening to what they were speaking, and suddenly I happened to speak in between, and my dad was listening, and the guest was like, elders are talking, why are you talking in between? The women in the house don't talk. I was like, I did not. This never occurred ever in the house. Like women are not supposed to talk, kind of a thing. Not, it's not about being against that idea or anything, but yeah, maybe they're like, elders are talking. My dad is like, it's okay, go inside. It's like, yeah. So I've never had that. So allow your children to talk, listen to them carefully, because if you do not validate what they're talking and what they are, how they are expressing, they might stop expressing altogether. So listen to them. And there's this huge pressure on parents, to be the children's best friends. Your child has just two of you, like a mom or a dad, and sometimes just one parent also. So you don't have to be their friend. Try being their parent, because they can find a lot of friends outside, cousins outside, friends outside, but not a parent. A parent is one person who can strongly say this is right, this is wrong. And as a child, you should also understand that they are a parent, they're another human being with flaws. Your parents, whatever they say, is not the ultimate good or right thing. It's according to their best knowledge, they're trying to give you that knowledge. So they are also human, they are also bound to make errors. This is one more thing you have to keep in mind. And you don't have, most of us think, I treat my son or daughter as a friend. In my case, I would say, yeah, my mom was more like a friend to me, because my dad was like, super, I'm a trainer, I'm not more than dad, I'm your trainer, kind of a thing. So it kind of got balanced. Okay, so my dad's, this has to be done with balanced with my mom's. Okay, I love you, strong version of I love you. So yeah, that's been it. And random talking, I randomly started, and I'm extremely delighted with all the kind of people who came back with feedback. Some of them like, you're not looking at the camera properly. So there has been a lot of improvisation, and also in the way I've been able to, I didn't have a topic. In fact, I just wanted to talk. And the pandemic was like, too restrictive, and I felt I was not using English fully. So I was like, let's talk on camera and let's see how it goes. So it's been an amazing journey, and I have some other plans for, future videos. Not on these similar lines, or very different line. I'm not sure if I'm even going to do that. But for now, this is it. Signing off this. So I moved from the 20th century to the 21st century of my story. So thank you for listening, and all the comments, likes, share. I don't think any of you have done, but likes at least. Thank you for listening, and keep smiling. Stay happy. Sleep. Get your 7 hours of sleep. There's nothing, better than sleeping enough and taking good care of yourself. Love and light to everyone. May your light shine bright always. Thank you, and meet you all in future videos or whatever I am making. Thank you for all the support, all the listening. I know last video was 55 minutes, and I got that huge, what do you think, response also. So thank you all. Have a beautiful day and keep smiling. Bye.